and I never learn. The same flame, and I'm always hurt, picking my pieces from the ashes on the floor. Push away, but it's killing me. Smoke lungs when I try to breathe, filling me up without to hold them in my core. Oh, when you're here, oh, when you're near, oh, it burns and nothing I felt before. Oh, when you're here, oh, when you're near, oh, it burns like nothing I felt before, like nothing I felt before. Nothing I felt before.
That's a quick green light. We are underway. Back
Oh, the Haas
no!
into the wall.
Another spinner. Kanish. But eventually Salty does make the move happen.
Oh, he's gone. He spun it round.
Tadachi's not done. Going to have another move.
Joe is on intermediates. It's going to be Valhalla, the second week in a row. He finds himself on the podium. And a very big hello, everybody. Welcome along to the Kingdom of Bahrain for round 3 of the Aussie Racing Series, a history-making circuit. It hosted the first ever round of Formula One in the Middle East. This is the circuit we're racing on today, 5.4 kilometres in length, 15 turns, 3 DRS zones, plenty of overtaking opportunities, and our first sprint race of the season. Here is your commentary team.
Good evening, welcome everybody to another week of Racing with ARL. We are here, Season 4, Division 3, Novice Division tonight at Bahrain. Looking forward to a huge night on the track tonight. My name is Nordal, I'm here today with Deku. How you doing today, Deku?
Yeah, I'm going pretty good. Should be a excellent race today with the drivers that are lining up today. The AlphaTauri are looking strong, and the Alfa Romeo is also looking to push over.
Yeah, we've big points for the AlphaTauris. I'm seeing Valhalla looking very strong at the top of the lead. Bit of a fight there with old mate James, it looks like, and bit of a gap away to the P3. So a couple of guys will be looking to make some big points tonight, stamp their names on things.
Oh yeah, Valhalla and James had a big battle last night, so it's going to be last week out. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can perform today.
Yeah, and we saw last night. I don't know if you were watching last night, but we saw absolute carnage at turn 1. Tonight is, of course, a sprint night. We will be seeing, I believe, if I recall correctly from last night's setup, we will be seeing the top 10 reverse grid, so we'll be starting with Achuri in pride of place, Kev the Gardener in P2, Tadachi, Base Baby, Josh, Panache, Bevo, Wubsy, James, and Valhalla rounding out the top 10. And then the bottom 10 on the grid will be starting in their current championship standings position. So that will determine the grid for the second race. And we'll be looking forward to seeing a bit of carnage as presumably the pretty quick guys make their way through the field and try to take pole position for the main event.
Well, yeah, the people starting in P10, the fast guys, they're not going to want to be sitting behind very, very soon after turn one. They want to get fast, they want to get through fast, and they want to get ahead as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be an interesting fight to watch out for.
And of course, clear of the carnage, when you've got a championship to think about, you don't want to be involved in that midfield chaos that can happen as the field rubber bands. So yeah, a couple of guys be playing it a bit safe into there. I don't know if you caught on the on the race on the weekend. Max Verstappen into turn one started braking about 200 meters before anyone else. He did not want to get taken out.
I think it's that mindset, play it safe, and you can come back in the later stages of the race.
Yeah, when you know you've got that pace. And yeah, I think we'll be seeing that from Valhalla and James today. And an almighty scrap it should be. Points on offer, of course, for the sprint. Top 8 positions in the sprint will take points. So that's a bit of an extra bonus for tonight. Big points haul for those who are ready to seize the day.
Yeah. And of course, especially with that turn one, it's going to be absolutely treacherous to see how well they decide to get on the power in the sprint and in the actual race.
Yeah, and a few guys, of course, still having a bit of trouble with this new handling model with the new game. And I don't know, I sort of struggle myself. It feels like you're trying to keep a vacuum cleaner stuck to the ground. It's all a little weird, but it's made for some great races because, a bit of an unsteady car means changes of lead. So happy campers here in the box.
Yeah, I think the main issue that I'm finding through turn one is that it's almost random number generated. So, you can do the same thing, couple laps, and sometimes it'll go your way, sometimes it won't. So just wondering how they'll handle it today.
That's a convenient reason to bring out in future. It's all in the RNG.
If you can't blame it on anyone else, you blame it on the game, blame it on the RNG.
Yeah, RNG, or it was the engineer's fault. Engineer told me to try turning in earlier. That's why I spun.
Yeah, it told me to jump over the curb.
Told me to gain 10 seconds somewhere, so obviously I cut a corner. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
So we should be underway in just a moment. It's turned 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, so we would expect the race to be underway momentarily. I can see everyone is in the lobby. Not 100% sure what we're waiting on. We do have some wise old heads in the chat who might be able to shine some light, but I think maybe no one just wants to be the first person to push ready.
I think they're just waiting for the lobby host to finish setting the grid order for the race.
Ah, yes, of course.
If you don't have everybody
yes.
very hard.
Yes, Deku obviously paid more attention to the run sheet than I did. I just turned up and hoped for the best. But good news, tonight we have sound, people. So if anyone was here last night and experienced a very quiet introduction, you're very lucky because Deku and I have got even better conversation than last night did to fill the dead space. So, if you thought no words were good, wait until you hear words. And see now, we've got 23 seconds left. We're ticking down.
Yeah. With 15 seconds left till we jump in for the sprint race. It's going to be interesting what the tyre strategies will be. Will any of them end up going on the soft tyre, or will it be a medium run to the end?
Yeah.
Because if they start on that soft tyre, they'll get that extra set of mediums for the race. And if there's a safety car, those extra pair of mediums, they could be the changer between the race win and P10.
Yeah, it's a little extra to think about, isn't it? But of course, if you start on the softs for this race, you kind of got to eke them out a little bit, or get a bit lucky with a safety car. So it's a bit of a balancing act, isn't it? You need to know your division, know what the drivers are like, sort of have a feel. Is there going to be a safety? And see who gets it right tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna have our eye on a few people. I think it was Joe last week. He had a bit of an incident with Valhalla, who ended up taking the lead from him and in the end. So it's gonna be very interesting to see if Joe can make a comeback today, get some of those points that he desperately lost in Hungary.
Yeah. So, drivers are just picking their setups at the moment, getting all ready to go, and any moment now we'll be experiencing the beautiful roar of those cars as they take off on a nice little formation lap.
Yeah, of course, formation lap is going to be critical here. Of course, we need the tires hot, but especially on a track like this, they will get hot extremely quickly, so we can't get them too hot before the start of the race.
Yeah, and of course, something we saw a bit of last night is drivers slotting up into the grids. We saw about 7 or 8 guys make a mistake last night and failed to line up properly, and of course that costs you a couple of yards on the grid there, doesn't it? So formation laps a bit more intriguing than they used to be. We'll pay attention now.
Yeah, got to make sure you angle your car correctly. That disqualification, as you said, being so far back, could be the difference between you leading into turn 1, getting the inside line, or being cut off by the person you're racing.
Yeah, it's a very big deal. So it'll be interesting to see the front 2 guys line up, Achuri and Kev the Gardener. I know Kev the Gardener does not like to be passed. He has elbows to steal that man, so it will be interesting to see how long those guys are able to hold that position, or indeed if they're able to build a bit of a lead. Maybe take advantage of a bit of turn 1 carnage.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking now. We've got Joe, who's taking a risk on the soft tyre, along with Bevo in P7. And then in the back way, we got Hawk Trio and Nameless Guy in P13 and 15, respectively, on the soft tyre.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have any details on. Stream hasn't been yelling at me. Usually, people are telling me how to stream my events. Yeah, some people would interpret that saltfully, but I genuinely appreciate it because I'm here
We've got a
making
disqualification.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a worrying start to the evening, isn't it?
We
and
got
that is a jury very much into a wall. Luckily, I'm pretty sure damage on formation laps doesn't count. It's not real damage.
Yeah, there's no damage on the formation lap. We've got a spinner back as well. It looks like a Williams or an Alpine.
Yeah, a couple of guys disqualifying as well here.
It's Bailey. He spun at turn 11, I think it is.
So the formation lap claiming some lives already. So, the jury has put it straight into the pit wall and then teleported away. So I think, I'm not sure if we're experiencing desync already, if this is just regular lag. I don't know if anyone in a position of power would like to intervene or give us some guidance here, because if we need to restart this, we need to probably catch it early. But if it's just regular lag, then such is life, I guess. So
Here comes, I think that's Bailey at the last. He's taking his sweet time there, warming up his tyres, probably cooling them down after a little trip to the to Barrier. And there's an Alfa Romeo driving away.
So that's not a promising thing to hear as the race is starting. And yeah, quick look at the tyres while we wait for. I can't see the lights, so I'm just going to talk about the tyres until I have something to go on. But yeah, only 4 drivers choosing to start the tyres: Joe, Bevo, Hawk Trio, and Nameless Guy. So the field seems pretty united in the appreciation of the mediums. And I can hear lights going out now. We have 4, 5, and there they are in the top left of the screen. 5 red lights, and we are away. A little bit of wheel spin for Achuri off the line, but he seems to have got a better start than Kev. Tadachi as well, getting a fantastic start. Looks like we're in the lead of the race by turn 1, and he is. Oh, and huge carnage. Williams coming together. Salty and Trenny before turn 1. Absolute mayhem. Doesn't look like anyone's DNF, so the race will be yellow flagged. We've got a safety car. And a bit of mayhem all through the field here, but looks like maybe just in time for a couple of guys, we're going to see the safety car come out and quieten things right back down. And I wouldn't want to be Jos Capito tonight, because there's going to be a bit of a fisticuffs in the Williams garage tonight.
Well, yeah, I looked behind and at the pit straight, 2 Williams were just spinning around, and then looking back over into turn 1, I saw a couple people going a bit wide there, being forced onto the runoff area, making not too smart choices, but it's only a virtual safety car, so everybody's got to keep to that same delta, same pace for now. These soft runners are going to be a little bit happy with that now.
They will, and the other guys who are going to be a bit happy with the virtual, of course, will be the front 5, because they'd managed to build just about a 1.5-second gap before the virtual came out, so that's going to be neutralised, and they'll get to keep that lead without having to, you know, who's that? Wow Wubsy, he's not even going to have to watch his back. I'm watching a now rubber banding under safety car, but I'd expect that gap to Bevo is going to hold, and Wubsy's going to have a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, as we see Trenny, he's got no front wing, and I'm not sure about Salty here. His front wing looks fine, but Trenny, his sprint race is just about over as it stands. He's gonna have to pit and put in a new set of tires.
And with that safety car delta, he can't even close up to the back of the cars in front. Who's that?
Tadachi
spinning under safety car from the race lead, gifting a Churi back P1 after really fantastic start to Dutchy, so that's going to be hurting him quite a lot. I hope everything's alright there. I'm falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, as the drivers are coming down now towards turn 4, this turn, it's really crucial that you get onto the power as quick as you can, as I think it's an off-cambered corner, so the car's really fighting you through here. And we got a spin, it's Valhalla!
Valhalla championship leader is round, so that is just a generally awful night all round for AlphaTauri. And up front, Joe right now is putting a lot of pressure on the back of Kev the Gardener, who's defending so far. But looks like Kev might be the cork in the bottle already, so we'll see if Joe's able to get through. He will obviously have a huge mechanical grip advantage out of this corner with those soft tyres. And look how much quicker he is, straight off up the inside of Kev the Gardener, no defending that. Joe is through and up into P2, and he's going to begin hunting down a Churi, it seems. And Kev's going to have to settle back in there for P3 for now.
Yeah, well, of course, with those soft tyres, you've got to try and get a bigger lead as you can, because when they start degrading, they will degrade. Yep. They'll become absolute turmoil and horrible to use.
Yeah, that is a steep cliff, isn't it? And at the moment, Achuri's pulling out a pretty big lead, so...
The fight here for P11. Shanuti, getting really close to the back of Valhalla.
Too wide through the corner. And look at that! Beautiful, clean, respectful racing from all concerned.
That's something you like to see. Alfa Romeo going down the inside of Haas, P11, and it looks like an AlphaTauri is going to join it. 3
wide into the corner, is he going to make it? No, Valhalla backs out. Plays it a bit sensible, and who's going to lose out here? They are all very orderly, you'd have to say, wouldn't they? They look like a flock of hornets coming down the straight, but...
Yeah, you can see the DRS wide open, giving them that extra speed, and Alpha... Oh, I think there was some contact there between Snoopaloop and Robbie into turn 4, as we've got a yellow flag in turn 3.
Yeah, that looks like Bailey there having some issues. Maybe never got those tyres back down to temperature after that opening lap or two. And, into the back of Snoopaloop goes Robbie, it looks like. And, Shanuti Panache around there in the background. And the fight continues. These guys absolutely going hell for leather right now, not giving any room that they don't have to. And absolutely ferocious fighting. It's all up and down the grid at the moment.
Yeah, as we can see, Joe's actually pulled a 2-second gap to Wow Ubsy, so you can see those softs working molestantly as we have another spinner. Turn 5. It is Knight in the Ferrari who has spun, I think.
Yeah, struggling to recover there as...
Haas gone round.
Foxy goes around there as well, yeah. Chaos really
very dangerous.
And Wow Wubsy actually has gained 5 positions. It was Kev the Gardener, the Aston Martin in P3 initially, so Kev falling down the grid a little and Wubsy making ground. We'll see if he's got the pace to close in on Joe and Achuri. Joe is continuing to close off on Achuri, and Base Baby now, hungry, up into P3, takes that position from Wubsy, who seems to have, I don't know, maybe used a bit too much battery in that initial surge forward. He's just struggling for pace a little.
Salty actually losing out a position to the McLaren there down the main straight, sorry. Yeah. And he's not going to be too happy with that. He's now down in P14.
Yeah, that's not what Salty wants, and he's stuck in a train as well, so it's not going to be easy to take that position back.
And yeah, we can see Hawk Trio's all up the back of Robbie here. He wants to get past and he wants to move forward. As Bevo, also another McLaren making a move on Nameless Guy.
And old Nameless gives him very little space, but I think all's fair there. And fantastic defense, you'd have to say, from Nameless. Really using every inch he had there to fight back against Bevo.
Absolutely fantastic, but while Bevo, the McLaren, was having a great job there, Hawk Trio, the other McLaren, on the soft tyres, just could not keep it on the track. I saw him just rejoin a bit off the on the asphalt, whatever you want to call it, off the track.
So, all the talent's gone to Bevo tonight.
He's also spun the Ferraris and some of the McLarens. The people at the back are not having fun times.
No, a lot of guys really struggling, trying to keep the cars on the road. And look at that overspeed from Bevo on Nameless Guy. Nameless Guy will not be defending that. Bevo will go straight on through. And looks like Kev the Gardener might be in the mix as well. Maybe not. Bevo through. Nameless Guy will have to settle for now for P6. And up front,
but he's going to get that DRS back down the main, back down the
come back. It looks
second
like
straight.
Bevo might be very
the Alpine making a move, turning his DRS off actually way before the breaking point.
Yeah, Xander not wanting to get caught up in any tangles there. Maybe he's heard of the reputation of Kev's sharp elbows. And he's following closely, but he's not going to do anything risky right now.
Oh, we got another spinner.
And that looks like Snoop.
Ooh! Snooper Loop nearly going into Tadachi as he's trying to rejoin the track. Tadachi forced off and nearly actually hit the barrier there. That was incredibly dangerous. As Hawk Trio and Panache right there going side by side, getting both of them getting oversteer as they're now going to go into turn 10.
And I'm not seeing a whole lot of people managing to get it done down this back straight. It looks like it is very hard to follow too closely through there. No one wants to be too eager on the throttle, I'm guessing, but
oh, Shanuti down the inside of Valhalla. What a move!
And further back, it looks like we might have similar stuff going on. I just can't identify the right people. Looks like Panache and Tadachi fighting very hard, and Panache, late defensive move there, but I'll go too wide through the final corner there, and Tadachi takes back the position, moving on up.
Yeah.
And
we can see back to P10, Valhalla going down the inside, backing out just before the corner, and we can see Shanuti. Shanuti spins!
Shanuti rounds!
And that is not what we want to see.
Is not, and it's going to hurt Shanuti quite a lot there. Falling back down the field, and meanwhile, Nameless Guy, Kev the Gardener, and Xander still fighting hard. Nameless Guy not giving Kev the Gardener a whole lot of space, and Kev quite sensibly backs out there into the clutches of Xander, runs a little wide. Xander's got a sniff there. He's got the speed, he's got the better exit, and Kev the Gardener's going to be hard pressed to defend this.
Will he think about going down the inside? He thinks better, and he's going to try and get a better exit here. Down the third DRS straight, moves out. I'm sure his ERS is on. He's going to try and make the move into turn 11. A long left-hander, you've got to be in front, and he is in front. He's got the move.
Kev's got the switchback
Kev's
on him.
got the switchback.
And this is side by side through the fast right, and it looks like Xander will ultimately hold the position. Will Kev go for the late dive? He does not.
Ooh, very close there. Kev's exit is actually compromised by that. Xander braking all throughout the corner. But Xander, he's not going to get DRS, so Kev's got his second chance at this overtake. And there's been another spinner, Haas at the back, Foxy.
And here we go. Will Kev the Gardener have the speed here? He has used a lot of juice in this battle already, so he's not going to have that to assist much. And it looks like, despite the DRS, not quite enough juice there for Kev the Gardener. And
he might get a better exit here. Going a bit over track limits, DRS wide open. He's just going to have to try and stick with Xander for this lap. He's not got anything on him. Xander's just able to gap him, pull away. Yeah, just absolutely struggling.
A little further back, I'm seeing Tadachi right now making a move on a Hawk Trio. Hawk Trio tries to defend, but can't really do much against that DRS. And we'll have to settle for, just tucking in there behind again.
Yeah, so at the start of this race, when Joe got past Bass Baby and Wubsy, there was about a 2.5 second gap. Joe has now got that to 1.3. His soft tyres will be screaming for help. But let's just see, can Joe actually manage to catch Achuri in these final few laps? It is going to be a dash to the finish line, and it is going to be a dash to get that DRS as fast as he can. And
Achuri crumbles under the pressure. Joe's through. Just as we're starting to think he's running out of chance. He's through. And that's enough time now. Joe can nurse these tyres. He doesn't need to do a huge amount now. It's not going to be a pleasant drive, but he's got all the space he needs.
Achuri has absolutely...
Oh,
and he spins
again!
He's absolutely fumbled the race win here, and possibly a P2 for the sprint race. He's fumbled it. He's now out of the points. He is in... and he's going to probably get past Salty, bypassed by Salty here on the DRS straight, as just our overspeed might not be enough to keep him ahead.
And Salty and Shinuti, obviously, they're right alongside. And Achuri, obviously, his tyres are still going to be flaming hot here. He's going to be under a lot of pressure for... what, the next sector or two at least while he cools down those tyres? I don't think he's going to be able to stop himself falling down to P13.
You can just see him be so careful on that throttle as a McLaren has gone round. It's Hawk Trio for the third time tonight, I believe. And Shinuti on Achuri here, going down the inside. And Shinuti has got the position. And he is in front. Achuri down to P11. That is not where he wants to be for the race itself.
After such a drive, and just there in the background as well, Hawk Trio, in fact, that spin did disqualify him for facing the wrong way on track, so highly unfortunate there from Hawk Trio. Nothing he can really do about that. He will just have to sit in the pit lane and stew a little bit until the start of the race.
And it's not the exit that Achuri wanted right there, getting all out of shape on that curb, mounting it both sides there. But he is going to be able to keep with, but his ERS, is flashing. He's nearly out compared to Shinuti, who doesn't have that much more, but Shinuti will have the pace on those cooler tyres, hopefully.
I'm seeing from chat from Wherever that Joe's tyres are fine, and some accusations have had the origins of Achuri's demise. I'll have you know we cut to him after he spun. Thank you very much, Wherever. Yeah,
now there was a yellow flag back by the Alpine and the Williams boys, so, and as Wewe Wobbsy actually leaves the session, not good from him.
Not great when you're in P3, is it? It's not what you want at all. He's defending from Bevo right now, and
yeah, Bevo. He should be able to get this move done within these last 2 laps, hopefully.
Yeah, even with his soft tyres starting to fall off, you'd think he's probably able to close up on an AI, and there we go, nearly half a second through one corner, so Wobbsy needs to get back as soon as possible. Yeah,
but you can see Bass Baby, he's actually managed to close it down on Joe there by around about a second, I think, in the last 2 laps. If Joe's tyres keep struggling, I think I was talking to someone about it. They were about 60%, high 60s at the end of the race. But we don't know how fast Joe's pushing, how much he's lit up those tyres. So for all we know, they could be in puncture territory. And Bass Baby could just try and nab this from him here.
That is very true. I mean, I'd have to think though that to lose 3.5 seconds over what's essentially 1 lap now, he would have to pop the tyres. There's no real other outcome. You know, his tyres aren't going to hit enough of a cliff that he gets caught, I think. So
yeah, well, I mean, we did see Achuri. He was quite comfortable in the lead there, but then we don't know around about this same pace here. He ended up having a little moment.
And we've got yellow flags in Sector 2. Knight, once again, it looks like, is around.
Not a good race for some of the drivers at the back here. They're being absolutely demolished as Shinuti with the fastest lap of the race there. And Robbie, Shinuti actually on Robbie here. Gonna go down the inside to keep it nice and clean. Will Robbie, try and get the switch back. He has the DRS, but he won't quite have the overspeed, I think, down this final straight. You can see Shinuti weaving back and forth as Robbie is actually... oh, he's not close enough. Nearly touching within the braking cones.
Is that legal defensive driving there, do you think?
Well, what, he made the one move to the side and then came back?
I just wondering if it was under control, I guess.
From the TV broadcast, it looked like Robbie had actually gained a second and was side by side with Shinuti. So,
yeah, well, I sort of wondered if Robbie was at a bit of danger being clipped, but maybe that's just the angle I'm watching from.
Must be. As we can see, Bevo here on Wewe Wobbsy. Wewe Wobbsy, I think he's rejoined now, but very close between these 2 drivers. Something magical is going to happen out of Bevo so he can actually try and get this. He's really got to get a good exit here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a good exit.
He's giving it everything.
Wubbsy's got all the ERS in the world right now, able to keep it ahead for this final corner.
Yeah, it looks like short of a disaster for Wubbsy. Wubbsy will be holding off Bevo. And so congratulations to Joe taking out P1 in the sprint, with Base Baby taking out P2. Wow, Wubbsy will take P3, Bevo P4, and Nameless Guy P5. Xander up 11 spots in P6. Kev the Gardener falls to P7. Valhalla, final points position, P8. Shanuti, after a big charge in those last couple of laps, unable to take a final point, but he'll be improving his lot for the main event anyway, so not too much to complain about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say,
down the field, big disaster for Achuri. Obviously, that was we thought he was looking golden there, didn't we?
yeah, well, especially with starting on that pole position, led for the entire race there, just until the incident happened, and now he's back down in P11. I'd say the absolute biggest loser out of this sprint so far.
You heard it here first, folks. Achuri, absolute biggest loser.
Not trying to be rude, but he has lost so much out of this sprint race.
And he has.
But I would say Wubbsy starting from P8 into P2. What a good race from him there.
Yeah, absolutely excellent race from Wubbsy. And who knows, without losing connection there, he might have even been able to close up a bit more and take the fight to Base Baby in the end. So,
yeah, well,
just in case you're sitting there listening to our lovely voices but not watching the action, making all the wrong decisions, quick race rundown for you. Joe will be lining up in P1, takes the full 8 points from the sprint race. Base Baby in P2, Wubbsy 3, Bevo 4, Nameless Guy in P5, with Xander in 6, Kev the Gardener in 7, Valhalla 8, Shanuti 9, and Robbie 10. And the lower half of the field will be Achuri in 11, disappointing race for him, Salty 12. Bit unfortunate for Salty too, you'd have to say. Panache 13, Tadachi started in first, fell to 14th. Started in third. Fantastic start, didn't make it stick. If you didn't get a mention, should have qualified higher up the field. Better luck next time.
yeah, well, it's going to be very interesting to see this race play out now, as it's very much a marathon now, not a sprint. Those 27 laps, we're going to see different tire compounds. Mostly the same strategy of hard to medium or medium to hard, but it's going to be the safety car that might play a very big role here, as everybody's actually leaving the session. Is that just me?
No. So another thing that might be playing a big role in the session is apparently we've encountered a mid-session patch, so we will be restarting the lobby, it looks like. That's why everyone's leaving. So this is a brilliant opportunity for us to just go to some sort of intermission or delay screen. So we'll be back with you in a moment, folks. We'll reform that lobby.
Nothing.
Sector 2.
Guys, sorry. No, sorry.
Sector, yeah.
I'm on the old track. I'm on the old start finish. Sorry, but guys.
What about who's that? Oh, Darkly Round. Oh, Darkly Round and absolutely cleaned up by Zay. Oh my god. Was that Zay?
I just saw that on the stream. That's good viewing.
Oh man, Darkly. Every time I swap to Darkly, qualifying the same thing happens. It's a disaster. Okay, let's quickly go. Let's see something. Someone
knows that. So this is Oh, and we have an overtake from
Val's trying to go down the inside. He's going to try and make it stick, but Ekham's not going to give it to free. He's going to still have the inside line here. He's going to have a better exit, but it looks like the medium tyres are just not good enough.
Wow, what a beautiful
But they're staying side by side still. Bit of bumping. Ekham's going to have the inside.
Yeah.
But then Val's going to fight back into the chicane.
Oh my word.
They're going to stay side by side. Ekham's not giving it up as much as they can. They're still side by side.
I don't know how they're pulling this off.
How are they doing this? I've never seen an Ekham keeps a position.
This is unreal.
Oh my god.
That was one of the best.
He's not going to waste any time. Goes down the inside.
5 seconds.
Kev,
Brave man.
Tortuga, goes around the outside. Kev
Keeps his foot in and he's up the inside of the next one. He holds the position.
Oh,
Unbelievable stuff.
Oh, that Mercedes. Mercy has spun.
Oh, Mercy. Struggling to soak up the pressure all the way down the order.
Yeah.
Tazza making a good position, maybe.
Tazza
There
up
he is.
to P16 now. But yeah, hopefully it's not another safety car.
Well, I don't think it can be so soon after.
Yeah. Which we could only hope. As Australian myself, I know you're Australian, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's done the sin. He's done the cardinal sin. I am not Australian.
No.
I am
Still
Kiwi.
gotta go for Piastri.
I'll be happy if Oscar Piastri comes in. There is one driver that I really want in Formula One. It's no surprise, it's Liam Lawson.
Yes.
Not having the best season.
But I believe Zakov does have this one in the bag now. As Kebab gets a 3-second time penalty. They go 3 wide around that turn and Kebab's been hit. Kebab gets closed off by Dutchy. I mean,
Whoa,
sorry about
he's
Crush
in the
there. And
middle
it's
of the track.
bit of a
He is
reset
in
the
the
track
middle of
there.
the
Not gonna
track.
don't call myself no snitch, but that was a bit of a reset the track there by Kebab. So that'll be looked at towards the end by the
Definitely
FIA.
will be, because
5-second
that almost
penalty
killed
coming.
a few people.
That I believe will be followed up
We
with
have the inside,
Yeah.
but then Val's going to fight back into the chicane.
Oh my word.
They're going to stay side by side. Ekim's not giving it up as much as they can. They're still side by side.
I don't know how they're pulling this off.
How are they doing this? I've never seen an Ekim keeps the position.
This is unreal.
Oh my god.
That was one of the best races I've seen between
That was
two drivers.
insane. It's
Bevo in the pits at the moment, but thinking about it. Yeah, I saw former casting flicking onto him for a moment.
Yeah.
A couple of guys thinking about it.
Also, I see Bulldog setting a 112 flat, beating Belladat out.
Oh, and
getting
HK
into the
Racing,
I don't think he wants to talk about that one.
that's not what he's supposed to do, HK.
Oh, he's done a Yuki Tsunoda.
He's done a Tsunoda down to a T. Oh.
Yes, quickly down Snoop. Loop is going on the inside of A. Churi at the end of the main straight, side by side around turn number 1. Who's got the momentum coming out? They're still wheel to wheel, making their way through the second DRS zone, taking that inside. It looked as if the Alfa Romeo is able to hold on, still wheel to wheel.
Oh, there's a
Contact,
touch.
there's a big crash, and Snoopaloop is out of the race.
Oh my lord, he had the fresher tyres too. Maybe, I don't know, it's hard to say if he squeezed as they went towards the side of the track there, but that's brought out the safety car. Safety car is back out.
Oh,
As Mez gets away to the start.
Fellow Mercedes teammate Mez, and then Drix and Wearable.
Oh, as 2 Red Bulls collide and big accident at the back.
So he's got to try something if he's going to, which
Yeah,
he is. He's going to try to go around the outside, but no, he does a double take and goes to the inside.
Oh wow.
What a move, but Ekim's going to stay side by side again. Taps
Not
the back
again.
wheel of Val, but they're still staying side by side. They're not going to give up that easily.
So, first place is up for grabs here.
out of...
As
Oh,
SG is
wow.
fighting back. Oh!
Oh, there goes SGN. SGN's gone.
Oh!
Wearboy right now, by the way, is sticking to the back of Bailey. Like I say that. And
Oh, corner cut! No! Why? That was like so unnecessary.
Round 2 of ARL Academy, the Hungry GP. We have 5 red lights. They are out and we are off.
Very quick off the start. Get racing.
Good start by Windows in the Ferrari, who looks to go up the inside. Rudy moves to block him, but it's too late. Breblitz gets a bit of an...
Sandwiched!
Rudy loses P1 to Windows. Out the exit of turn 1. Oh, bit of contact.
Well, the rest of the field's caught up, so there's no reason why not.
Spliff back off. I don't believe Spliff wants this thing to go. His tyres are going off.
Stand by for the notification. There it is. Safety car in this lap. So Spliff has control of this race for a very, well, what we're assuming is going to be a very short period. We shouldn't undersell him. Slows them right down too.
I think that was throttle lock there, but there could have been some
Gamesmanship. Well, the rest of the field's caught up, so there's no reason why not.
Spliff back off. I don't believe Spliff wants this thing to go. He thinks his tyres are good enough.
Stand by for the notification. There it is. Safety car in this lap. So Spliff has control of this race for a very, well, what we're assuming is going to be a very short period. We shouldn't undersell him. Slows them right down too.
I think that was throttle lock there, but there could have been some
Gamesmanship.
At the mercy of Lemon and Eckham right here, and Eckham is looking very hungry. Eckham being a little off the pace this season after being very competitive.
Oh, he spun Lemon.
11 round.
Yeah, Eckham spun him. The T-Mac's gone through. And who else has this caught?
Between Formal Bivo and Sokotom. Sokotom might be losing 2 places here. No, Bivo gets spun.
Well, Stealth is going to make a move on Bulldogs up the inside.
Oh, they almost make contact.
Stealth was really late on the brakes there. What is this, NASCAR? Is Stealth bump drafting Bulldogs here or what? That was almost pushing them through the
Formal's going to go down the inside of both of them into the right-hander.
Double overtake by Formal. Without even the DRS advantage. What a move.
5-second penalty, speeding in pit lane for Salty. Day goes from bad to worse. Oh, what's he around? Got down the inside of Xander, couldn't control it. Maybe there was a slight touch between the two. Came from a long way back and he's gone all the way down the pecking order right now. Back.
Red Bull's off, Zakov. Oh no, he managed to keep it on. Saw someone off the ground
Already up
there.
to P10. Oh, it's CJF spins.
Oh, there's a big spin in the
massive
back. Who was that? That was... Oh, lots of drivers caught up in that.
Yeah,
lots of
that's gonna be a
drivers.
car.
And we've got Ponzi spun as well in the...
That happened, we come into turn 1 as it looks like Lemon goes off and gets a 3-second...
Yeah, Darkly is very on. Oh, Darkly! Oh my god! No, guys! Get him off the track! He's a maniac!
Lemon just cruised past without a wing as well.
Yeah, so it's been absolute mayhem at the back here. It's...
Oh no, Fluxy gets tapped. Then he gets he's taken out, he spins on the line. We could get a safety car.
Nothing.
never learn. The same flame, and I'm always hurt, picking my pieces from the ashes on the floor. Push away, but it's killing me. Smoke lungs when I try to breathe, filling me up with doubts. I hold them in my core. Oh, when you're here, oh, when you're near, oh, it burns, and nothing I felt before. Oh, when you're here, oh, when you're near, oh, it burns, like nothing I felt before, like nothing I felt before. Like nothing I felt before.
Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about this extended intermission. We've had a patch right in the middle of the of the race, so we've all had to go and install that. We'll be back with you shortly, and I just want to give a massive shout out to the content creation team for everything you've seen in the intermission, the highlights, videos, the music. All of it's produced by the amazing community we have here. If you want to get involved, if you think you have something to offer, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you on board. We're always looking for more content to improve the streams and make the experience here better. Speaking of making the experience here better and improving the stream, we have, throughout the month of August, we will be offering 3 lucky winners a $50 voucher for any Steam game they should choose. Entry for that is for subscribers to the stream. So for every time you subscribe or resubscribe throughout the month of August, you'll get an entry into the draw. $50 gift vouchers coming in hot. Throw your names in the hat. Support the stream. We'd love to have you along. And if you've got any questions about that, direct them to somebody other than me. So while we're waiting, we'll go down to our specialist in the pit lane. I understand, Decker, you've been reading up on the patch notes. Is there anything we can expect to impact the race coming up?
Oh yeah, so down here in the pit lane, we just got some information from Race Control that the front wing damage will now have a greater effect on handling and lap time. So all you no front wing runners out there, I'd be a little bit careful about braking, going up the back of someone, going up someone's exhaust. And we've also found that on the formation lap, an issue has been resolved where tire temperatures would be above the blanket temperature when starting the formation lap, which I believe is 60 degrees. So your tires for the formation lap should start at 60 degrees when we start. There's been some stuff for graphic issues for the suspension of the Red Bull, some trigger feedback. So I believe Eckham would greatly appreciate that. And I believe that's it. For they've said some general stability improvements and some various minor fixes, but they haven't named what they would be.
We do appreciate stability improvements, but yeah, so a couple of changes to the racing environment live. A couple of teams be struggling to adapt to the technical directives, especially those teams who like to drive around without a front wing. If you want to read the full patch notes, go and read them for yourselves. But that should be the stuff that's relevant to us right now. And quick update on where we're at. We still have 19 of 20 in the lobby. I assume somebody has struggled to get their dial-up working tonight and is frantically trying to download the entire gig of patch. Haven't heard any updates from the men down at the FIA, the Basink himself. So I assume we're just still waiting. We we have had sing mode enabled. Dutchy, prolific viewer of the channel, has spent some channel points, and we will be honouring that. Deku has offered to do some singing while the race is underway. Bit of sing casting for us. So if anyone's got any songs they particularly like that they might like him to fit his commentary to, he didn't ask about to volunteering for this, but he does now.
Last time I checked volunteering, the definition was you consensually volunteer for the free pay of work. Last time I checked, I did not consent to doing this, but the show must go on. So I guess I'll sing a song in the form of F1.
Brilliant. So
if anybody wants to give a song, then I might have a look at it.
We've got that coming up. If you're eager to hear Deku sing, bit of a hype train in chat, couple of subs, throw my way, get your name into the raffle. $50 vouchers coming out in August. So it's all going off here. Everything except racing is going off, I should say. We are staring at a point screen, and minimal chat engagement. Could be talking to ourselves for all I know. So Cappy, what's going on is we've had a patch, everyone's downloaded it, and we're waiting for a single person here. I'll show you what I'm here we are.
You can tell we're waiting for one person to join.
Yeah, so if any of you super sleuths wanna have a look through and see who the criminal is, but guys, I assume this isn't someone who's wasting your time here. It's someone who's just frantically trying to download a patch on their parents' dodgy internet they can't get updated or something. So bear with us. If we've got any race engineers down there on the sidelines who'd like to come and give us their insights after the sprint, how their team's feeling, we'd love to do a quick interview if there's anyone got a spare moment. Swing Nordal a message in Discord if you'd like to come and chat in the box. Give us your insights. First come, first serve. I know you're all desperate for attention. So was that Deku?
I think Dutchy said that he might have some insights.
Yes.
So Dutchy, do you want to come up here?
Yep, I've just seen a yes please from Dutchy. I'll drag him this way and Dutchy, welcome to the commentary box. How are you today?
Hello.
And have you got something special for us? Do you have anything you want to talk about, or who are you engineering for tonight?
The Aston boys.
Oh, the Aston boys. So you've got Kevin Wubsy, is it?
Yes, sir.
And how are those guys feeling after race one?
Well, I don't know. Kev's fallen down a little bit, but I reckon he's got the confidence to bring it back up.
He has.
I reckon he's got the right strat. So
yeah, he's a ferocious fighter, Kev. He's always there till the end. We've got 10 seconds left till the race starts. Quickly, let me know what happened with Wubsy's disconnect from the race. Was that?
Blackout.
Blackout.
Yeah, power went out.
That's happening.
And then he tried to join back, and the game was like, "Hey, you need to update the game." So.
Well, at least he held P3. So.
Yeah, that was good.
Fantastic performance from the AI. All right, well, thanks very much for your insights, Dutch. I'm going to send you back where you came from. And good luck to the Aston boys in the race.
Cheers.
One thing I probably would have asked was what would the tyre strategies be here?
Would a true competitor give it away, though?
I mean, considering, I don't know, could ask the Ferraris about their strategy for today, considering it won't matter. Could bust Baby on Night for what they're going to do. If they're going to go for a 4-stop or 5-stop.
Based on what we just saw, yeah, Knight's going to do donuts.
Yeah, it looks like it. Bass Baby, though, he will be trying to contend for something out of this race. He got P2 in that sprint race, correct?
Yes, I believe so. A pretty solid performance from him. coming from not the greatest starting position. So it's that tense moment where everyone frantically tries to get their fuel levels right and set their tires, and then someone goes, "Oh no, I forgot, I'm racing in a default setup," and it's all miserable. And there's always
Oh, pain, no gain.
well, there's always that one person who insists on clicking ready as soon as you load into the lobby, and you just want to take a moment and get your wits about you, but you're straight into it.
Always thrown straight into it. As you can see, we got like 10 seconds before we actually get to formation lap, and we're going to be able to see their tires. Are they going to be at 60 degrees, or are they going to be at the default 90 degrees that we've had for the past couple of races?
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? What do you reckon? How many people are going to be caught out if they're at the advertised 60?
I'm not sure. Maybe a couple if they're at the advertised 60. My controller is vibrating. Yep, they are starting at 60 degrees right now. And we can go to the back drivers. I can't actually see his yeah, around 60 degrees they're starting at. I don't know why, but my controller is vibrating a lot. As we already have some disqualifications, actually.
Yeah, not a great start. And just having a quick look at the tyre strategies here, we've got overwhelming preference for the meds, really. We've got Xander and Valhalla, Robbie and Tadachi starting on the hards, and Foxy, a sole soft runner. Mixing it up a lot, though. What do you think of Foxy's strategy, Deku?
Foxy's strategy, he is on the soft tires. It's interesting. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I wouldn't expect the soft tires to be brought out that early, especially considering that there might not be a safety car within these first few laps. Maybe he didn't get to complete his strategy before the game finished readying up for himself, as he did seem to have a problem with that last time. But we'll have to see with what happens at the start.
Yeah, we obviously saw last night an overwhelming preference for some combination of meds and hards and a one-stop. It looks like Foxy will be committing to a two-stop. The only person who used softs in a one-stop last night was Rodriguez, who, until the safety car, looked like he was going to just barely make med softs work and actually win the race with it. So Foxy could know something the rest of us don't.
He very much could know something that we don't. Maybe there's going to be some Crashgate instance here within the first couple of laps, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, the FIA will be holding their breath, I'm sure. And right now, watching is Joe's going to be first to line up, pole position, obviously after.
Oh, we've got a spin up. Where was he?
It was always going to happen, and we see how many disqualifications we get as they come to a stop on the grid. Joe nails it. Nope, disqualified. Beige baby. Nails it. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. Class act all up and down the field. Maybe not.
Just having to try and fix these controller issues right now. My controller's absolutely going off.
No dramas. We'll hold the fort here.
A lot of disqualifications that I'm seeing come through, though. It's not what you want to see.
A lot of disqualifications, and can't even select Joe to watch the race leader from the start because he's been disqualified. Oh, and here we go. We have 3, 4, and 5 red lights, engines revving, and feet to the floor. We're away. Joe gets an awful start. Base Baby leaps into the lead, and wow, Wubsy almost going off track there to get around Joe with that bad start. And Wubsy, in fact, into...
Oh, there's contact at the back!
That's kept the Gardner into the wall, absolutely wingless, and... it's absolute carnage. And we're trying to regain some semblance of sanity at the front. We do not have a safety car, so the race is free to continue. Kev the Gardner losing out bigly there. Foxy also a long way down on his soft tyres. And Wubsy into a fantastic lead. Awesome start to get the jump there on Joe. And surprised to see Base Baby as well not getting through. Nice shock appearance in P4. Up 13 spots off the line. What is that start from Knight? That is absolutely outrageous. And you can only assume it's from P15 down being caught up in absolute carnage. And the penalties are still rolling through. Deku, what have I missed? Are we...
Well, yeah, off the start we had some big collision there. One of the houses swerved over and caused the Alfa Romeo to suddenly jerk out, which caused a butterfly effect of a big crash as we see Trenny losing a bunch of positions. I believe he's spun there at the exit of turn 10. He's gone deep onto the curb, completely riding it, as Hawk Trio has made him, Hawk Trio has lost the position to Salty, and Joe is closed up to Wubsy after that mistake of the sprint race. He's not looking to make it again.
Joe will be one to keep the pressure on here. And
we got another spinner.
Another one already. It is absolute chaos here, and looks like some guys didn't maybe get enough temperature into their tyres on that formation lap. All the guys having real issues right now. Joe keeping the pressure on the back of Wubsy, looking very hungry for that race lead now.
Now, as we can see, there's been a couple of big winners and a couple of big losers from this first lap, as we can tell. But the Ferraris, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna end up using some team orders here to swap around if Knight is faster, or are they just gonna let themselves battle it out till one of them forfeits the position?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long race, you know, team orders maybe a little early. And
Wubsy
is round. Wubsy is round. The race leader has given up the spot back to Joe. Wubsy only losing 4 spots so far because the carnage behind has left him with such a lead. But that is painful to his prospects of winning this race. And Joe off into the distance now. Base Baby and Knight, absolutely awesome position for Ferraris to be in right here.
That was absolutely crucial for Joe right there. He needed to get past. He forced Wubsy into a mistake as we have another spinner. It's Achuri, I think. I think he's made contact with the Haas. He's made contact with Foxy. I think both of them are out of the front wing here, and this is absolutely horrible. This is not what we want to see from these boys. Achuri leading the race in the sprint race. He's all the way down in 18th now, absolutely heartbroken from this. He is basically out of this race.
And we know he has the pace, but it's just not coming together for him, is it? And
it is not.
Meanwhile, you asked if we'd be seeing team orders from Ferrari. It does not look like it. Base Baby has built a 2-second gap overnight in 1 lap, so looks like it's a 2-horse race out front right now. Joe leads Base Baby, who will have DRS this lap.
Yeah, so Bass Baby will be looking for that exit nice and tidy through here, up on the curb, but you can see Joe is he's on the throttle so much earlier, able to put down that power, and he's braking later, putting his car, throwing it into those corners, which is absolutely what he needs to keep this lead right now.
And he's stretched it out. Look, if Base Baby's going to have to do some work through the sector, and even with that DRS, we saw him really struggling to keep pace with Joe, so Joe looks like he might have the speed to take this and run away with it.
Yeah, he absolutely could. But we have seen right now, there's a couple of cars here that are quite close from, I believe it's P6 all the way up to P10 as Achuri has retired from the race. He's obviously had some engine problems, and it's caused him to spin around a little bit, so he has retired from the race in the pit lane, which is very unfortunate.
He'll be very disappointed with that. Achuri from leading most of the sprint race to retiring early from the this race. That's been a day where he could have taken home big points, and he's seen nothing for his efforts, so he's going to be feeling very sorry for himself tonight, I think.
Yeah, something's happened tonight. He's dropped another second this lap to Bass Baby. He's 4 seconds away from his Ferrari teammate, as we've got another spinner. I believe that is Shanuti. That is not what we want to see right now. We want to see these guys really pushing, but we want to see them on the track.
Yeah, and Wubsy right now is benefiting hugely from what seems to be some errors creeping in from Knight, and he is right on the tail there, making his way through turn 1, and he's going to be looking for that overtake through turn 2 and into turn 3 with that DRS. Wubsy would be looking to take back that lead. He must be feeling pretty furious right now after that unforced error of his.
Yeah, as I just saw Bevo and Panache getting up close and personal into turn 1 there, all the way through turn 2. But it doesn't look like Panache's DRS compared to Bevo, but it's just going to be interesting to see how these fast 4 here, as we can say. Oh no, and Knight has spun.
He has, and Wubsy makes his way up into P3, and Knight there is losing a lot of positions. And finally back on track from P3 down to P10. Right on the back of that train there. A bit of risk from Tadachi. You'd have to say the guys running hards tonight, not having much success so far. They're all way down the field. There's no one managed to break their way into that top 10.
Yeah, they're not having a good time, but they are just trying to play this long game. They know that the guys in front are going to be pushing, but they're just going to try and keep it nice and cool.
Yeah, and they're probably crossing their fingers and their toes, hoping that there won't be any safety cars, let that long game really play out for them. And with racing this fierce, there's no guarantees. As I'm watching right now, Salty right on the back of Bailey. Bailey maybe causing a little bit of a hold up behind him, but I think Salty, if he's able to keep it clean through this corner, will, with the DRS, have no issues getting through. Releasing that Alpine to go and chase after Nameless guy up ahead and maybe get up in the mix of the podium. But that is a big gap. Looking at those front two, Joe and Base Baby at the end of the straight, most people still coming around the final corner.
There's a battle for P10 here. Tadachi is going to go down the inside of Knight. Knight now down a lot of positions, back to where he started almost. And Knight's got the switch. He's got the dive bomb, but he's gone wide through the corner. Tadachi has got the better exit, and he's going to keep the move. Oh, what a blunder from Knight. He went back for the move after losing it. The late lunge, but he's lost him time, and he's out now. As we've got a big collision up in front. I'm not sure who that is.
Nameless guy.
Oh no!
This is huge for the lead of the race. This is going to change things up completely. Salty, after having just barely gotten his way through Bailey, suddenly finds himself in third place. And he's a long way back from the leaders now. They're in a race of their own, but Salty up into third out of absolutely nowhere. And suddenly that little pack that were following Bailey find themselves in the mix for the podium positions.
Yeah, we've got Joe and Bass Baby just up ahead. They're keeping it nice and tidy. As we've got Bevo very up close and personal to the McLaren. They're going to be very close along with Panache there. Very up close through turns 11, 12 and down to 13. But it's going to be interesting.
Right now, putting huge pressure on the back of Bailey. Hawktrio and Panache as well. It looks like both these guys could be making the pass down the straight with a bit of DRS. Bailey again just looking like he's struggling for pace compared to the guys behind him and just slowly letting them trickle through. And Panache is looking very hungry back there. Right on the back of Hawk Trio, leaving absolutely no space as he follows through that corner. And we're going to see them going for it right here. As look at that overspeed. Hawk Trio, absolutely no issues. Will be cruising on through. Panache, a little more difficulties, and he's going to tuck it in behind, maybe try and take advantage of some carnage, and takes the wide entry behind Bailey, and not able to capitalize. But out of this turn 2 into the DRS straight, into turn 3, Panache will, it looks like, have the speed and the aggression to go up the inside. And Bailey loses 2 spots in 3 corners. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, Bailey's just got to keep it nice and clean now for the rest of the lap. He's got the pace. He just needs that extra wing open, that extra 16 kilometers down the straight. That'll help him. And we can see him very close, up and close personal through Panache, up through turns 8, down to 9, and then through the heavy braking zone of turn 10, where the DRS will get opened again down that back straight. As we can see, Panache, he's gained a little bit of a healthy lead. Hawk Trio has gained a little bit of a healthy lead there. 8 tenths to the now Panache, who is 5 tenths in front of Bailey. But Wubsy, he's not got any DRS. He's going to be trying to keep that Red Bull of Nameless guy, the incredibly nameless Red Bull, behind as they head on through turns 12, 13, and back onto the main straight, sorry. Going to be an absolutely amazing race all around here. As, Joe and Bass Baby, they've kept their lead. But back here, we've got a big train all the way from, I think, that's P4 down to P11. Will some guys be getting the DRS? Will some guys be getting the DRS? We can see Bailey and Panache very close to each other. But Hawk Trio, he's pulled away 9 tenths. I don't think Bailey's going to be able to get that move back now. And we see Tadachi up in P10 as they head down the main straight.
A second separating those 2 guys, and Base Baby is not dropping off here. He's sticking furiously onto the back of Joe, and he's going to take this at least to the first set of pit stops. He wants to stick in this race.
Yeah, they've got a 13-second gap right here. They've almost got half a pit stop with that length. They've got around half a pit stop length of time right there. And we can see Tadachi in that turn 1. I think Bevo went a little bit wide and he gained around 2 tenths through that first 3 corners, sorry.
Yeah, Tadachi very close right now to the back of Bevo, and punting him round on the hairpin, and that's absolute carnage there.
Oh no!
Tadachi knocks around Bevo, and Knight goes on through. Knight having an easy time. Shanuti goes very wide, and Shanuti is round as well. And it's absolute carnage here on the...
Trenny being forced wide into the barrier as well. This is not what we want to see. A lot of drivers getting scrambled up in someone else's mayhem, and Knight now, he's dropped back a lot. I think he's not running... he's running fine. He's just dropped back.
Such an innocuous little touch, and we saw absolute carnage there.
Trenny actually getting a 5-second grid 5-second penalty. He cut some corners and gained 2 positions. I'm not sure about that one.
You'd have to assume it was Shanuti and Bevo who left out there, and those guys still fighting furiously. It doesn't matter how many positions you've lost. There's no time for a breather. You're back into the fight, and you're gonna think this again. The guys in the lead here, they're probably thinking right now about when they're going to pit and about trying to find a bit of a free gap. And every time one of these guys in this chase pack takes the other one out, it just frees up a little bit more space for those guys.
Well, we've got a yellow flag. There's contact in turn 1. 3 cars have been piled up, I think. Someone, Haas, has gone very wide. Robbie and mixed in with Tadachi. They've both lost... Robbie has his front wing, but Tadachi is missing out on an end plate now. This is not what they want to see. Not what wants to happen. As there's contact, Nameless guy is spun round into turn 8. What is happening here?
Almost impossible to stay clean as Bevo runs into the side of Valhalla. Valhalla somehow keeps on the road. Bevo not so lucky. And these hard runners at the back absolutely taking it to each other right now. Absolute carnage.
Yeah, you know, this is not the racing that we want to see. We want to see clean racing, fast racing, hard racing. But this is just a bit of bumper cars that they're playing right here.
It is, isn't it? The brakes just they seem to be, just take slightly longer to work than everyone expects. Right now up front, by the way, Base Baby on the chase seems to lose a lot of time through sector 3, but getting within half a second just there of Joe, and you got to think maybe Joe's starting to lose a bit of life in those tires. Maybe Base Baby have to come back at him a little bit.
Maybe, but as we can see, as I said earlier, Hawk Trio gained a healthy lead to Panache, but Panache has actually caught back up. Panache might be making the move here down into turn 1, up just too far back. He'll try and, down the outside, gone deep. And not the move that not what he wanted, but he's
himself a bit there where he didn't need to. He just wanted to tuck in and make the move here, but he's still hot on the tail. And is he going to make the lunge?
Oh.
And he does make the lunge. Oh, no, not quite.
Contact, I think, there between Hawk Trio. I don't know if I saw a little bit of wheel bumping.
Yeah, Hawk Trio very wide there. It didn't look like the natural line you would take.
Yeah, no, it did not. We can see Foxy, actually, I think, or maybe that's Roby and Tadachi have come into the pits. Some of the first pitters right here. They definitely didn't want to, but they are going to have to, considering what happened back with them. They're going to come out and they're nearly going to be lapped by our front 2, as Foxy is actually going to have to give way now to Joe and Bass Baby.
Yeah, and that's probably a bit of a breather, to be honest, for Joe. If he can get in range for some DRS at the right time, that blue flag could help him right out.
Yeah, Panache there got a real... Oh, off goes Bailey! He's gone straight on. He's corrected the oversteer, but he's gone straight on into that corner. Just before we saw Panache get a big snap and save it, but Bailey, he's just had to go straight off, losing a place because of it. It's not what we want to see. Panache now is out of his DRS because of that little incident he had in turn 11 there. A lot of the drivers are not liking that turn from what I can see today.
No, it is sowing carnage in the field, isn't it? We've seen just about everyone losing it there. And, yeah, I'm a bit concerned that I might be finding myself in that same boat tomorrow. I might have to go and practice that corner a little bit.
Yeah. Now Trenny, he's gaining on Nameless guy here, the Williams and the Red Bull. He's gonna go, he's gonna look down the inside, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get squeezed, and there's contact, losing out another position against Shanuti. That's not what he wanted to happen, a little bit squeezed onto the curb there, and you can't put any power down when you're on it.
Yeah, Nameless didn't give him a whole lot of space there. I think, yeah, Trenny quite late with the move, but maybe entitled to a little more space than he got. We'll have to see if that comes back to haunt us later. He, Amanda, by the way, is having just a quiet little race out in his own.
Oh, no,
another Base Baby is around. I was going to say, Amanda's having a quiet race, is salty, out doing nothing on his own, but he might be about to find himself in P2 after basically having just kept his head. And Base Baby loses 10 full seconds of that spin to Joe, so Joe is now pressure's off. Joe able to just relax a little bit, take a breath, do a bit of cruising, and this race is, well, I mean, I'd say it's looking like a done deal, but at any moment Joe could join the spinners.
Yeah, as we actually have another spinner, it's Bevo. What a poor race for him. Very unfortunate, but I like to call our top 3 drivers. They're in a bit of a no man's land, as I call it. They're far. They've got no one in front of them, no one behind them, or at least a big gap between all of them. So they're really just racing themselves here. They can't push themselves to a pace of opponents. They won't catch it as we got another spinner at the back.
And that looks like Trenny again. Trenny having an absolute nightmare of a race. And I'm watching right now, Shanuti is making a pass on Nameless Guy. Codemaster does not want to play ball, but Shanuti is able to get his way up through turn 1, and I think he might have made that pass late enough that he's going to have DRS again and zoom off into the sunset. He does, so well played from Shanuti, and comfortable pass there on Nameless Guy, moves up to P9, doubles his points.
Yeah, now as I was talking earlier, we were talking about the McLaren and the Mercedes of Hawk and Panache. Now, we did see that Panache did lose some time, but he's managed to gain it back over a couple of laps, and he's got DRS, he's got good exits, and he's actually gained a couple of tenths off that corner. Something happened to Hawk Trio, maybe all on the curb, but it's going to be interesting down this back straight, as these two drivers are possibly going to go all at it for the position here.
Yeah, Panache is looking very hungry, and you'd have to say to close that gap, he might just be looking a little bit quicker. And Hawk Trio may be struggling as the tyres age a bit. Panache just continuing to look menacing in the background there. And these guys have been fighting intensely for 10 laps now, just furiously ever since Salty shot on through.
Yeah, there's no stop for it. That rear wing is going to open now. They're going to head down that main straight. Just look at that speed that he can gain. I think Hawk Trio might be bleeding some ERS. He's got 11%. He's almost out, while Panache, he's got a lot to spare. So Hawk Trio is really trying to play a short game here. It looks like he might have a strategy where he's going to have to try and pit, and then he can save that ERS a little bit more. But Panache, he's got that rear wing open again. I don't think he's close enough to make that lunge, though.
No, but yeah, as you say, it looks like Panache not really using any juice here, so happy to be tugged along. Doesn't want to use too much of his own battery leading, and maybe thinks his pace is similar enough that he's better off just harvesting right now.
Yeah, well,
that was good.
You only gain so much so now in the pit lanes. There's not as much as you used to in 21. But we can just see he only really needs to use it on certain corners so he can gain that advantage and keep it. But he should just be mainly looking to recharge it with his pure pace right now.
Yeah, it's looking good for him. Yeah, once again down the straight, closes that gap right back up, loses a little bit through the corners, and then straight back on the back of him through the straights. Panache happy to looks like secure pretty big points here. Won't be top honours maybe, but happy to play a pretty sensible game and bag a sensible haul of points.
Yeah, now Hawk Trio, he's saved his ERS for this main straight here. Now we did see Panache, he can gain a little bit in sectors 1 and most of sectors 2, but he loses it in 11 and 12 on the power, and 13 a little bit, as we have another spinner. Trenny S has retired from the race. And that is a full safety car. That is a full safety car. This is a free pit stop for most people. And we can see there,
exactly
he's just spun into the wall.
Wanting it, really. Yeah, Trenny out of the race.
Yeah, you can see Joe. He will have a free pit stop now. That 14-second gap, he will be absolutely free to pit and come out on fresh tyres. He will be leading this race almost. I can guarantee it right now. He will be leading the race out of the pit lane.
Yeah.
I hope to be fresh hard tyres.
Yeah, you would have to think so, wouldn't you? I mean, I think that the downside for Joe of all this, obviously, is that the field's going to close up to the back of him, which is when you put in all this time and consistency to build up a 15-second lead over your closest rival. It's a bit of a shame when they get it all back, isn't it? But the free pit stop and the lack of any risk of losing that track position is going to be good for Joe, and I think he's probably going to be confident that he does have the pace to just rebuild that lead and drive back off into the sunset.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting safety car, that's for sure. We can see a lot of drivers are now pitted onto the hards, onto the mediums. I'm not too sure if mediums can really last the distance here.
It's
a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you started the hards, what choice do you have? I mean, you go meds and then maybe whack on a pair of softs in a crisis, or maybe just hope for safety. I think we did see Rodriguez last night. You can get the life out of the meds, but there is a definite cliff that you're going to find as those tyres start to mature and crackle and horrible and slidey.
We can see Foxy's actually unlapped himself, but it does seem like Joe is going to come out in P1 here. Everybody else has got to pit for those new tyres, as we were talking about.
Yeah, Joe.
But Joe, he's got that lead again.
Yeah, and this is good news for Foxy and Kev the Gardener, it looks like, as well. Both of whom were down an entire lap, so really granted a bit of a reprieve by that safety car. It's a bit of a sad story for those two guys, both strong competitors last season and in the same division. I'd heard rumours that Kev the Gardener had some serious pace this season, but we're not seeing it tonight. He's a miserable night now.
16th. Yeah, just like unlike Wubsy per se, Wubsy is up in P7. Although he did start in P2, bit of some issues early on. He's got a second opportunity here to make it right. A lot of guys do. I think Tadachi and Valhalla, they're going to be looking to make something of this. They're on the Valhalla's actually gone onto the medium tire. He's going to do some stint right here. He's going to do some magic.
Yeah, and you would expect him to have the pace in the early laps there, so maybe a bit of a march through the field on, yeah, both those guys having early spins, looking to redeem themselves a bit. Tadachi, obviously, sort of barely, struggling to unlap himself, well, struggling to catch the field after having unlapped himself here. He's not able to pit despite those 8-lap-old hards, and maybe looking to go to the end, or maybe just looking to get closer onto the field before he risks pitting, just in case that safety comes in unexpectedly.
Yeah, well, just as we can see, all of these drivers, it's going to take a while to group up. I'm saying the safety car is staying out for 3 or 4 laps. I don't know the max lap it can stay out, but you can see Foxy right there who unlapped himself. He's got a second chance. He's got a second life. But can he catch up to the safety car?
I mean, he's still half a lap down, right? It's been out for a while, but it's I have previously gone from a lap down to finishing P4, so I know that Foxy and Kev, they'll be hungry for this opportunity. They'll see it as redemption, even if they're not right on the back of the field. They'll know there's an opportunity to gain some places and maybe get a point or two from a position that was previously a lost cause. This is a testament to the guys who do stick in the race, and even when it all goes downhill and they're a lap down, they stick it out, and it shows you can come back into these things, and it's really worth sticking it out. We've seen stranger things happen than the Kev the Gardener podium from here.
Yeah, we have. But now these hard tires, everybody on the hard tires, they want to keep their tires warm. If they're cold on that restart, it's taking 1 to 2 laps to heat them up properly to racing temperature. But if they can, weave up and down, side to side like a roller coaster through the safety car, they're gonna be able to just keep them nice and toasty, nice and cool for that restart, and it's gonna be perfect for them.
Look at this. Have you ever seen a field this spread out after this much safety car? This is how many guys still to close up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys still not anywhere near the back of the field just yet.
Well, Tadachi and Foxy are in the pits there at the back. Tadachi onto 4-lap-old mediums, and I think Foxy's going to pit onto some mediums. I don't think there'll be softs. If they're softs, it'll be interesting.
Oh, that would be a mega stint.
There'll be an old pair of mediums. Oh, new pair actually. 4-lap-olds.
That's not too shabby.
We started on the softs, that's right. Safety car's almost been out for 2 laps now, so it's gonna. We've at least got 1 more lap.
Yeah,
with it out.
Shame. You'd think Byrne is probably looking at a cup of tea and putting his feet up, but he's going to be doing another lap. It looks like, because there are some laggards at the back taking their sweet time.
Yeah, well, I think he can have a cup of tea. He can just let the autopilot drive right now. No real rush. Joe's being nice and calm behind him, unlike some other people.
Yeah, some other rebels.
Who behind the safety car. Yeah.
Make him go faster. My tires.
Yeah, well, the main thing here on this restart is you've got a bunch of the pack up, but if you're too close, you might hit the other car. You'll compromise your exit. If you're too far away, you're gonna. Did we just have a spin?
We seem to have. We saw Bailey lose a place to Valhalla.
I think Bailey had a spin there.
Spinner went off track or something. Yeah. Valhalla wasn't going to be giving it back, so it doesn't look like it was just a quick rubber band of the latency or anything.
Yeah. Oh, there's actually quite a gap now between a couple of cars, as you can see here. Have to catch back up, but it might come in this lap if the Haas driver Foxy can pull his weight, maybe catch up a little bit. It will come in this lap or maybe next lap. I'm not sure.
He's got a long way to go. I've got to say, I'm hoping that's going to come in this lap. We're seeing nearly everyone closing out now. Kev the Gardener will be comfortably onto the back of the pack, and, you know, especially given how far we do see the field back up once the safety going in is actually announced. It would be a painful other lap if we have to wait one more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can have a look at some big winners of the start and losers of this race here. So you can see Hawk Trio, he's up 15 positions, and Knight actually has clawed his way back to P6. But then on the other spectrum, we've got Bevo down 10 positions and Kev the Gardener down 8. Not a good race for them. Not what they're really wanting, as we can see Xander, he's spun as well. And he has lost a couple positions, and wow, Wubbsy has left the session again.
Oh, nightmare. Hopefully there's not another update to download. Wubbsy hasn't been positive in the past. Presumably we won't be leaving to download that if there is.
Safety car is in this lap. The message that we have gotten from race control. Excellent. The punch will be backed up, and the pack will be bunched up, and the cars will be raring and getting ready with their tires. Remember, there's that 60-kilometer speed limit that they can't go under, otherwise they'll get penalized. But as long as he keeps it nice and clean, it should be safe.
So far, so good, and Joe doesn't look to be wasting much time, going pretty much straight on into that corner, and I think he's just going to back his own abilities to...
Oh, he got the throttle glitch.
He did get the throttle lock, and he's away now, foot to the floor, he's up and away, and unfortunately...
Look at Bass Baby on his rear.
Bass Baby, Joe goes very defensive there, and Bass Baby closes up, but not quite enough, and looks to the inside there.
3 wide into turn 1, P10. Oh, they're 3 abreast.
They've kept housing.
And Nameless Guy backs out.
Nameless Guy showing some common sense.
Really contacting there, Valhalla and Shinuti. As Salty and Panache now side by side. Oh, Salty's just gone a little deep into that corner. Oh, we got Spinner.
Around.
And the kind of Hawk Trio up and around. Oh no, this is not good. Carl's gonna have to go very carefully past there. So Tadachi, he's also had a big issue now. He's down in more positions than he was before.
Yes.
And Knight up to P4, big winner of the start of this safety car, up 2 positions right now. Oh, and there's contact. Salty and Knight coming together. Valhalla in the runoff, he's gonna have to rejoin, and it looks like Salty has lost another position to Panache now, as we've got another yellow flag down there. I'm not sure what has happened back behind us.
And they are all over the back of Salty now. Wubbsy looking to get up in the mix as well, and obviously Salty looking to make his way back up into that coveted podium position. And Knight has just had a blessed first lap, hasn't he? He's just driven through the carnage, and it's all opened up in front of him.
Oh, and looking back, Wubbsy and Salty, they're going to go together into this final corner. Got to get a really good exit out of here. Can't push the other driver wide. Salty concedes a little bit. We've got Knight weaving over into the pits. Big slipstream. Valhalla, he's joined the fray, and he's gotten past Salty, who's got a compromised exit. Will he be able to get past Wubbsy, as Panache has gotten past Valhalla? Not looking to make the move. Will just stay behind into the first corner as Knight side by side with Panache. Compromised exit, but Panache will try and get the switch back. And he's been pushed wide there, but they're going to keep it together. Actually, where's Panache gone? Oh, no, he's kept his position there in front.
Yeah, a bit of contact there, but they both kept it together. And Knight ceding the position there. Knight having huge issues there. Big snapper oversteer.
Oh no, they're 3 wide, nearly 4 abreast going into turns 5 and 6. I think that is. This is not. Oh, and we got to spin a big. Oh, there's big contact over there on the track. Valhalla, Panache, and Knight have spun round there on the exits. This is not what we wanted to happen. These guys were looking for a good redemption. So yeah, big spins there from the boys at the back. But now Wubbsy and Salty and Bailey have rejoined, and Roby with a 5-second penalty for ignoring those yellow flags. This pack has just been bunched up with them all so close together.
And you can only race that closely for so long before someone makes a mistake, and we're starting to see it creeping in after a long race, because there is absolute mayhem going on out here on the track. And look at that train, back from P4 Wubbsy all the way down to P11 Bevo. Huge dogfights going all up and down the field. Everyone wants a piece of the action, and there are points on offer for most of them if they can just keep it clean and tidy.
DRS has now been enabled, but you can see that gap from Joe and Bass Baby. Joe has already built his gap, he's built his lead, and you can see weaving from Wubbsy right now, as we're going to see Salty climb closer and closer. I don't think anybody's going to be able to make a move. Maybe Knight might be able to make a move into turn 1. But I think it's generally going to be nice and clean through here. No overtakes, but this DRS straight now is coming up. It's going to be interesting. Will anybody get the exit? Knight, though, he's had a fabulous exit. I think, although both cars have DRS, not going to be able to get the car in front. Xander nearly touching Tadachi there, and Nameless Guy, he's spun around as well. He's came back on the track. He's made a little bit of contact with Bailey. He's back off. Oh, nearly. He's mounted the curb, and Bevo, he's looking to make. Oh, being pushed off the track. That's going to be looked at by the FOA.
Yeah, Bevo,
and there's contact pushed wide again. I think there's going to have to be an investigation into that by the FAA.
I'm sure Nameless Guy will be submitting a report.
Contact. Bevo and Kev the Gunner. One of them got touched, and Bevo has been worse out of it. Bevo got touched from behind. He has been spun round, and he is in down 13 positions now. Not the race he wants.
So for these front guys, the race is settling down a little bit. For the guys at the back, it is just heating up and heating up.
Yeah, well, they're all fighting for positions here. Tadachi actually getting very close to Kev the Gunner. 4/10 just separating the two, and it's closing. Could something happen on the DRS straight?
Yeah, Salty right here looking to make something happen on the DRS straight, right behind Wubsy. Wubsy with no DRS to defend, and Salty very close to that final corner. Wubsy goes defensive, moves back to the outside of the track to take the corner, and they're side by side through turn 1. Salty barely ahead, and they're still keeping the nose in. Salty basically cuts the corner. I'm not sure that was entirely legal. Wubsy might have something to say about that, and Wubsy will have the DRS to come back at him. And not quite able to get it done. Salty does hold the position. I'm sure Wubsy will be having something to say about that approach to turn 2 there, but for now it's been deemed legal, and Salty keeps the position.
It's been deemed completely legal right now, but it could be looked at after the race. I expected Wubsy to go for the old switcheroo there. It looked like it could have been a good move, as we see a lot of drivers now coming down into turn 8. And they're all very close to each other, but this corner, turn 10, is where it really matters. You can lose or gain time here. The ship will sail both ways for these drivers. And as we look back, I think one of the drivers was very close to a Red Bull. Tadachi, who actually made the move on Kev the Gardener, is very close to Nameless Guy now. I think these two might have a little bit of beef.
Wide there through the hairpin, so Tadachi given a great chance to have a run at him here. And if he does have beef, he's about to grind it out, because Nameless Guy is looking vulnerable.
Yeah, well, we can see they're coming down the straight here just before the DRS. Tadachi just about 2/10 behind, very close, just a car width between them as they're going to close up through here. The power down through this corner will matter so much onto this DRS straight. Now, Nameless Guy has also got the DRS, but Tadachi has got a great exit, as we can see. Both of them using their ERS, but the slipstream from Tadachi is really good through here. And will he go for a move? He's going to look down the inside. He's going to think how he's going to have a second thought, and he's going to move back behind into the slipstream.
I thought we might have seen a late dive there. I was feeling it, but Tadachi clearly more sensible than I am. He chose to live to fight another day.
Very clearly, we've only had 2 DNFs this race, so there's still. Oh, look at Tadachi. I think he went down the inside there of Nameless Guy, and he did. He's got the position. He's now up into P10. He's going to try and follow Bailey now through turns 8 and 9 onto the next DRS straight. He's gained so much time there. He's on the new hard tires. He's really got these tires warmed up and into good contact. But as you can see, Nameless Guy, he looked to have a little lunge, little look there, and.
Yeah, Tadachi looking a little held up here by Bailey, sort of compromised by almost how much quicker he is here, and he's looking very hungry here. I don't think Bailey's going to be able to hold this position. Bailey without DRS to defend. And it's a very short
just look at that exit.
Tadachi goes the long way around, and it looks like he's going to keep it clean. And Tadachi's going to slot in front of Bailey here. Bailey forced to drop back towards Nameless Guy.
Yeah, you know, this has been this race has been a bit of shambles for the AlphaTauri crew, considering what they showed in last week. This week has not been everything they wanted to see, but these good moves are making up for it. But we can see Bailey will actually get DRS, but 8/10, 9/10 now. Will that be enough to catch back up to the AlphaTauri of Tadachi, who is absolutely on a storm here?
I think he's going to be more worried about defending from Nameless Guy here, and he's not going to be able to. Nameless Guy towards the wall, but Nameless with the speed just forces his way straight through Bailey. Nothing he can do, just going to have to slot back in there. And Nameless Guy wants another crack at Tadachi. I don't think he thinks that's settled just yet.
Yeah, these two, they've been fighting for most of this race here. As you can see, Mercedes, I think that's Shanuti getting forced he's not even allowed back on the track there. The two Alpines scrapping it out. And, but yeah, that was very interesting. The Mercedes was just purely boxed out on the other side of the track. He couldn't rejoin, he couldn't do anything. That might have to be looked at the end of the race. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Oh no, it's Panache. He's had a little moment, but he's able to keep it outside of the wall and on the track.
And won't be losing a spot there, fortunately for Panache. His teammate Shanuti still piling the pressure on Kevin Gardner. And
there's contact.
Huge contact, big pile up, big 3 in a row. Valhalla, Kevin to Valhalla.
Oh, he got a spinner.
Off into the wall goes Shanuti. Shooting off to your right of screen there. And we see him reversing back on the track. Not a sight you see too often. And further down as well, Hawktrail looks like he's at a moment. Losing 2 spots there. Namesky and Xander shooting on through. Bailey also down the field.
Yeah, you know, this is something that we don't want to see. We don't want to see them spinning this late into the race. Safety cars are going to become very unlikely now. But you can see there's a lot of these drivers that are going to be scrapping it out for a single point here. Don't see this too often with 5 drivers scrapping it like this. But it's just this race here has provided some entertainment. And we're going to see a big slipstream down this straight. A lot of moves are going to be made here. And Valhalla is actually boxing in the Alpine while the McLaren's going defensive. Down the outside goes the Alpine. Is going to try and get to the switchback here. Will he get it? He does not get it. He can't get the better exit. His exit has been compromised. He's going to have to settle for 12th here. And sorry, my mistake. They're battling for P11. Not even for a point here, but you know, anything could happen.
Oh, there's
and Valhalla getting the exit here on Bailey. Just backing out.
Looks like next on the chopping block will be Xander versus Nameless guy into the next DRS straight. That was hairpin. And actually, look at Robbie piling the pressure onto the back of Wawa Rubsy right now. Not able to get it done, but with those 14 lap old meds, Robbie seemed to have still decent pace.
Yeah, he's keeping it on track. He's keeping it up there within the DRS range of Rubsy, which is just going to help him pull him along for 3 different sections of the track. But we can see Vander though, he's closing it on Nameless guy. He's got some beef. Well, he's Tadachi actually making a gap and closing up tonight here. He's going to be fighting for those points on these old mediums here.
Yeah, and the AlphaTauri is right at the center of attention. Valhalla piling the pressure onto the back of Bailey, and it looks like he's going to be sizing them up through this final straight. Looks like he's getting a reasonable exit there, and he's Bailey rear light flashing, so Bailey clearly under a lot of pressure, but Valhalla too using everything he's got in the tank, loving that slipstream, and he's going to pull just barely ahead, and Bailey breaks very late, overshoots that corner.
Look at the McLaren!
And the McLaren eagerly through on the inside. Bevo trying to make his way through, just barely loses that in the end. Looks like Foxy now getting his way into the mix as well.
Yeah, this is an amazing battle here. You can see the McLaren going very defensive, nearly touching Valhalla, and getting a really compromised exit because of it. But just this battle here, it's amazing. As you can see, Valhalla just had to back out of that corner, and down the inside went Bevo, but just couldn't make anything of it through the exit.
Foxy's so hungry on the back of Bevo right now.
Look at Knight, he's been able to catch up to Robbie now. There's going to be an interesting battle here for P5 probably, as Wubsy, Roby, and Knight. Could Tadachi possibly join in as he is 1.4 seconds out? He has closed the gap by 4/10 last lap. And he's actually closed up a lot now. He's gained around about 4/10 as we've got an Alpine spinning. Tadachi actually setting a purple sector 2 there, so he's had a very good run. He's going to get DRS onto this straight, and he's now in the fight for P5.
Yeah, and in fact, Robbie has gone through on Wubsy without even needing DRS there. Wubsy, I'm not sure, maybe strategically giving it up. Robbie using a lot of battery to stay ahead, and wow, Wubsy not using as much, maybe playing the longer game here, and is he going to look to retake the spot? He is. Wubsy up the inside, and Robbie gives him just barely enough room. Wubsy holds side by side, and Wubsy pulls ahead.
Look at Knight.
Back through turn 3, and Knight sticking his nose in the mix. He wants a piece of this, and he's side by side there with Robbie. And Knight, in fact, pulling slightly ahead, gets the inside line and takes pride of place through that corner. And Tadachi right now, right on the back of this pack now. This fighting bringing him straight into the mix.
Yeah, we can see Tadachi. He's very hungry after that sprint race. He's looking for some meals here. First up is the Haas of Robbie up close and personal through that corner. He's got a good exit. Will he have the run? Will he have the speed? Will he have the braking? He's just forced a little bit a little bit wide. He's not looking for it, but look at that switchback. He's got the better line. He's got the better exit. He's going to be able to go down he should be able to go down Robbie, but he doesn't have DRS. Something wrong. Has he not pressed the button?
Yeah, rear wing shot. Maybe he doesn't realise that DRS assist is off.
Maybe. He is 8/10 back now, but we can see up front we've got a big fight. Robbie, nearly contact there between Robbie and Knight as Wubsy. He's staying ahead, but this is a very feisty four-way battle here, a foursome as we might say it. Going down onto the main straight, the DRS will be wide open as Knight. He's got a great exit here. Wubsy, he's weaving all over the place. He wants to break that slipstream as much as he can. Nothing can stop this Ferrari. The prancing horse down the main straight, all the way in front, a car length in front, and Wubsy is going to have to see that position is down the inside. Looks Robbie, he's going to look for it. Will he get the switch back up the exit of turn 3, down into turn 4 now? He's going to have that DRS, but he doesn't look like he's going to get it.
And Robbie looking very threatening there behind Wubsy. Wubsy seemed to struggle for pace after 12 laps on the hards. You'd think Robbie would be struggling for pace more, but Wubsy right now sort of losing Knight already. Knight shooting off just a little bit, and, stretching out that gap to approaching a second now.
Yeah, well, we can see Robbie here is really holding up the AlphaTauri of Tadachi, and you can just have a look at them very close through these couple of corners. Big moment, but good save there from Tadachi, sorry, and his DRS actually opens now this lap. But a little bit more of a gap here than last lap.
Yeah, Knight just looking to slowly cement that lead, and yeah, look at you could have to say the top 4. Banger race from those guys. Very quiet. We haven't been paying many attention because they've been off on their own, little no man's land. But full credit to Joe. Absolutely awesome race from him, and Base Baby keeping it so close all race.
Yeah, great race from the guys up front. But out of turn 13, Knight actually got a really bad exit, got a lot of oversteer, but was able to correct it. Now look at these guys, less than a second separating them all. But it looks like Knight will have the speed, unless Wubsy is thinking about it. But look at Tadachi, he's got the speed. He's going to go down the inside of Robbie. He's got the inside line, he's kept it nice and clean, and he's got the better exit.
And Tadachi is looking like the quickest one in this pack right now, isn't he? Who cares about 16-lap-old Mez? He is flying here, and Wubsy will be feeling the pressure as Tadachi breathes down his neck. Yellow flags again. We're seeing, looks like Shanuti and Xander once again causing a little chaos, but yeah, up front here, Tadachi just on a march.
Yeah, Tadachi, he's looking really fly through this part of the track here. Valhalla actually losing the position to Hawk Trio, and it doesn't look like Valhalla's going to fight that too much. He's got a McLaren sandwich here. And he's got a better exit here, but I don't think he's going to be able to make much of it.
Just a bit of pressure here into the hairpin. It looks like maybe force Hawk Trio a little deep, but Hawk Trio calm under pressure, keeps it nice and tidy. And Valhalla with the DRS will be maybe looking to make a move around the outside. Hawk Trio positions his car well, doesn't really give Valhalla a way around the outside, and Valhalla's just going to have to settle for now.
Yeah, we can see Tadachi, he's rapid right now. 5/10 from Wubsy right now. Going onto the straight, will Wubsy be able to get a move back on Knight? 6/10 separating the two drivers. The same lap hards, but ERS is not quite the same. That wing is open and the speed is gained, but I don't think it's going to be enough for this first corner. Look at Valhalla, he's looking for it. He just thinks better of it as he goes. They're nearly touching. Front wing to rear bumper right there. And I think he gets a compromised exit because of it, losing a couple of tenths. But he's got the better ERS and he's gaining and gaining down this straight.
Oh, Bevo goes very wide there. Look at Tadachi. He is just held up in traffic. You got to wonder what that pace would be like if his tyres were 17 laps nearer and wasn't stuck in traffic there. Because Tadachi looking very menacing.
Yeah, you can see him taking a bit more of a wider line there compared to the other drivers. Now down into the hairpin. This is a critical corner for him. Been a lot of contact down there, but looks like it's nice and clean. DRS is open, ERS is active. And down the back straight he goes, but Wubbsy, he's going to be looking to shape up Knight very soon. 2 tenths separating the two drivers.
Yeah, and Knight initially looking very rapid as he made his way through that pack, but seems to have struggled now as he's led, and maybe had to use a bit of his battery to try and keep the swarm at bay. Wubbsy right now, ERS has not changed over the last however many laps. Wubbsy he's in maintenance mode, and that is a baffling thing to see. We are on lap 29, people. I did not realise, by the way, Joe taking us through the first 3 corners on the final lap, and the fighting has not stopped. Wubbsy right on the back of Knight. This is the lap. Wubbsy now dumping his battery on that straight. This is the time to get past.
Oh, look at Tadachi. He's going to go down the inside of Knight.
And Tadachi's very brave and 3 wide. How has Wubbsy gone so deep? And Wubbsy cuts the corner back in front of Knight. And Tadachi, he's timed his run to perfection. Is he going to be able to pull this off? And Wubbsy doesn't have DRS there. Knight might be looking up the inside. Wubbsy just barely holds him off. And
as Kimi Raikkonen's engineer once said, last lap, all or nothing, Kimi. And we can see Tadachi took that literally, and he has gone absolutely thrown everything at the 2 drivers right now on that turn 1.
And it's one of those things where if you don't pull it off, it's unfortunate. But if you do pull it off, you look like a genius. And Tadachi right now looking so calculated. Last lap, saves it all up, plays it so smart, and then puts it all on the line. Turn 1 and makes 2 spots. And we have Foxy around. Kevin Gardner takes a spot from him. Foxy having a race to forget tonight, you'd have to say.
There's a little bit of carbon fiber on the track. I'm just wondering who's that from. It's from Kev the Gardener's end plate. Left end plate. He's going to be struggling a little bit, but it is the final lap now. As we have our Grand Prix winner here, Joe, absolutely dominating this weekend. What a race from him.
And yeah, very strong performance from Base Baby in 2, and Panache, very quiet race from him, but awesome performance in 3. Some aggressive overtaking after that safety car restart, and bringing it home well. And looks like Tadachi getting the best of that scrap for P5 overall. Wubbsy having to settle for P6, and Knight surprisingly losing a lot of time those last couple of laps, down to P7. This all being before the FIA, I have to say.
It's absolutely amazing, though. Oh, I've just got to say what a race that was from Padachi, as we actually have a retirement. Xander has retired.
Xander,
he is not wanting to complete the lap, but
not at all.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there we have it, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. We have Joe in P1, Base Baby 2, Panache rounding out the podium in P3. Honourable mention to Salty in P4, fantastic race from him. Tadachi with some awesome overtaking towards the end, rounds out the top 5 there. And I'm seeing some frustration in the chat there. Dutchy, the engineer for Aston Martin, complaining about some punter pass, so I'm sure we'll be seeing some fiery commentary later on in the FIA channel. All that still to look forward to if you help us administrate around here.
Yeah.
And, yeah, making their way out onto the podium right now, isn't that just a vision of beauty?
Go after what happened in Hungary. I believe he lost out on the podium. I'll have to double check. But after that incident in Hungary, he was able to actually get back out there. Yeah, in Hungary, he came 6th. He lost the lead after qualifying on pole. But right now, he has absolutely defined a race win right here. Absolute beauty. I think was it a Grand Slam?
Oh, he did, didn't he? Yeah, he did. He's taking max points. Did he get fastest lap?
I don't think he did.
Fastest lap.
He did not, sadly. He qualified first. Nearly maximum points, 1 point off from the points right there.
That Grand Slam from him with a very quick lap actually there from Shineri. Quite a lot quicker than most of the field on that fastest lap.
I believe that will put Joe back in the title contention right now. It'll put him back up there, all the way up there after that.
Yeah, right up in the points, especially given the leaders, Old Mate James and Valhalla, not taking home any points tonight. So it's a very big deal for Joe, putting him right back up in the mix. Just going to work my way through the race director and all that stuff there. I know some of our guys like to go back and look at it and figure out what they need to dispute and all that jazz. So if you need to fill out a report to the FIA, feel free to come to the stream. Look through at the end. We'll have all the shenanigans up.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful.
It was absolutely beautiful, wasn't it? And yeah, I think we're just going to go very briefly to an intermission, and then we'll be back with some interviews. So stay posted. Thanks for sticking with us, and stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. We are here with some interviews. First up, we have our race winner, Joe. That was a very dominant performance, nearly absolute max points from the weekend. You won the sprint, you won the race, and you looked pretty unfazed doing it. How do you feel?
Pretty good. Redemption from last week. No inters on this week, that's for sure. It's just the team really helped me out there, giving me strategy I needed. That's all.
Beautiful. And yeah, the guys at the top, no big points for them today. So you've closed that gap right up and back in the mix of things.
That's what I was hoping for. With them two races, the first two sort of just dropped the ball. So it's only up from here.
Brilliant. And not such a great night for your teammate. We saw Nameless getting caught up in the shenanigans. You guys have a bit of a colourful team radio in there, or is all very calm in the Red Bull box?
About as calm as you can get. We had Spliff singing, so, you know.
Oh, that's very calm.
Exactly.
That'll settle the nerves. All right, well, brilliant race, mate. You feeling confident for next week?
Where are we next week?
Very good question.
That's my confidence.
Well, that's not a good start, but I don't know either. So we'll get onto that for you. But get practicing, and yeah, thanks for your fantastic performance.
Easy, no worries.
Catch you, mate.
Have a good one, fellas.
And next up, by popular demand, we will be interviewing the one and only Tadachi, who gave us some fantastic entertainment on that last lap. I'm just going to see if I can drag him on in here. And Tadachi.
Hello.
Hey, how you going, mate? We saw some fantastic moves on that last lap.
Oh, thank you.
You look like you had a bit of pace stuck in that pack and hung it all on the line. You bit of a miserable start, but you brought it back at the end there. You feeling good after that?
Yeah, I actually feel pretty good. I was just trying to keep my distance from the Ferrari and the Aston at the end because I could see them getting really close coming into the corners. So I was just trying to get a good corner entry and exit to try to, zoom past them.
Yeah, well, in the end, it sort of ended up being a bit more of a hustle your way through at turn one, but it gave us some great entertainment. And Yeah, not so great for your teammate Valhalla. He's leading the championship going into this. I don't think he's going to be leading coming out of that. Did you guys,
Yeah, it
bit
was
of a sad state for him?
bit unfortunate. I think what did his racing was when we went into the corner with Robbie. We both just got hit, both got damaged. I was lucky when the safety car came out. I kind of just braved it out in the mediums to finish the race. But I think Val had to pit again.
Yeah, that was a mega stint actually. What, 18 laps on the meds there at the end?
Yeah, they were getting close to 75% there at the end. I was getting scared that I might pop and I might crash, but
Yeah, no, the
it was
pace
either
you
that
found with
or
them
no
was
points.
very impressive. And well, thanks for your time. Is there anyone you'd like to shout out to? You got your mum watching or anything?
Nah, just Mini Menace because he's always loved me in the chat. You know, such a beautiful man.
Well, thank you very
Apart from
much,
that,
Mini Meadows. All right, thanks very much for your time, Tadachi. You gave us some fantastic entertainment, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
thanks for having me.
So that's gonna be about it from us. We'll be rounding off very shortly. Thank you very much for joining me tonight in the box, Deku. It has been a pleasure having you here.
It has been a pleasure.
And just a reminder for anyone who's watching, anyone who subscribes to us, you're in the draw for three $50 Steam vouchers through the month of August. So get your subs up and running. Keep yourself in the draw. You might win something. You get to support the channel. Anything you'd like to say before we leave, Deku?
I've got to sing a song for Dutchy.
Oh, you do have to sing a song for Dutchy. Please take it
I
away.
do have to sing a song. Is it all mine?
Oh, it's all you.
Okay. So the song he chose was Baby Shark, so here we go. Baby shark doo doo da doo da doo, baby shark doo doo da doo da doo, baby shark doo doo da doo da doo, baby shark. Mama shark doo doo da doo da doo, mama shark doo doo da doo da doo, mama shark doo doo da doo da doo, mama shark. Papa shark doo doo da doo da doo, papa shark doo doo da doo da doo, papa shark doo doo da doo da doo, papa shark.
That's brilliant. I'm loving it. Thank you very much for your request, Touchy. From us here at ARL, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow night for Prodigy Race. Same time, same place. Love to see you there. Have a great evening. Goodbye.